The world watches in horror as conflict erupts yet again in the Holy Land. Images of violence and destruction fill our screens, a stark reminder of the fragility of peace. But for those who study biblical prophecy, these events carry an even deeper significance. Could this be a sign, a harbinger of the tribulation spoken of in the book of Revelation? The very ground on which Israelis and Palestinians clash is ground walked by prophets and patriarchs. Jerusalem, a city sacred to billions, stands at the heart of this conflict. The ancient scriptures speak of a time of great turmoil centered on this very region, a time when the fate of the world hangs in the balance. As we witness the unfolding chaos, we must ask ourselves, are we living in the shadow of prophecy? Are these birth pangs of a coming tribulation, a time of unprecedented hardship and upheaval? The book of Revelation, often shrouded in mystery and symbolism, offers a glimpse into the future. It speaks of a time of great tribulation, a period of intense suffering and judgment upon the earth. While interpretations vary, certain passages resonate deeply with the events unfolding before our eyes. Revelation chapter 7, verses 3 to 8 speaks of a specific group, the servants of our God, marked for protection during this time of tribulation. This marking is described as being placed on their foreheads. This symbol has been the subject of much debate and speculation throughout history. Could this marking be literal or symbolic? Could it represent a spiritual preparedness, a commitment to God that will be evident during a time of global crisis? While we cannot say with certainty, the parallels between these verses and the current situation in Israel are striking. The conflict in Israel is about more than just land or political power. It strikes at the very heart of religious and cultural identity. The battle for Jerusalem, a city holy to Jews, Christians, and Muslims, has been a recurring theme throughout history. Revelation speaks of a time when Jerusalem will be at the center of a global conflict, a time when nations will gather against the city. The current situation, while not a direct fulfillment of this prophecy, bears an unsettling resemblance to these ancient warnings. The escalating tensions, the involvement of surrounding nations, the religious dimensions of the conflict, all these elements echo the prophecies of Revelation. While we should be careful not to draw hasty conclusions, it is impossible to ignore these parallels. Section 4. History's Shadow. Throughout history, people have looked to biblical prophecy to make sense of current events. From the fall of the Roman Empire to the rise of communism, believers have sought to connect the dots between prophecy and the unfolding drama of human history. While some interpretations have proven to be misguided, the desire to understand our place in God's plan is a timeless human longing. We yearn for meaning, for assurance that we are not simply adrift in a sea of chaos. The current conflict in Israel, with its global implications and religious dimensions, has reignited these discussions. Is this simply another chapter in a long and bloody conflict, or are we witnessing the fulfillment of ancient prophecies? Section 5. A time for vigilance. The Bible calls us to be watchful, to be aware of the times in which we live. It does not promote fear or paranoia, but rather a sober awareness of the spiritual realities that shape our world. The events unfolding in Israel should serve as a wake-up call, a reminder that we are living in a time of unprecedented uncertainty. While we must be careful not to sensationalize or draw definitive conclusions, we cannot ignore the potential significance of these events. The world is watching, and many are asking, what does the future hold? The answer, as always, lies in seeking God's wisdom and guidance. We must be grounded in His Word, discerning the times, and living in a state of constant preparedness. Section 6. The Call to Prepare. The possibility of a looming tribulation is not a cause for despair, but rather a call to action. It is a reminder to examine our own lives, to ensure that we are walking in right relationship with God. It is a time to strengthen our faith, to deepen our commitment to His Word, and to share His love with those around us. The future may be uncertain, but we serve a God who holds the future in His hands. He is our refuge and strength, a very present help in times of trouble. As we navigate these uncertain times, let us cling to His promises, share His hope, and live lives that reflect His glory. The dawn of a new day is upon us, a day filled with both promise and peril. Let us face it with courage, with faith, and with the unwavering assurance that God is with us now and forevermore.